What's up, guys? This is Dan from Bodybuilder in Thailand.com. I'm going to talk to you guys about cold approaching today. That means walking up to women you don't know and talking to them. So you've heard me talk about this on the channel over and over again. I mean sporadically, but it's something I talk about. And I want to share my tips with you guys because this is something I've been doing for years. What inspired me to start doing it in the first place was I hated feeling limited. I don't like feeling limited to any one circle. My social circle, my school, my friends of friends, Tinder. I don't ever want to be limited to a certain group or a certain, here's 50 people and that's your dating pool, and select from that. I don't like that. I like to be able to go out and look for what I want and, have that be successful. So that's been my inspiration of why I've practiced this over time. And I mean, it's a massive mental game. One of the things that I know a lot of you guys do want a cold approach, but it's a very hard thing to do because you're really setting yourself up to have your ego smashed, to have your ego obliterated and destroyed, which is a good thing sometimes because it helps you grow up and be more mature. But you don't want to, completely obliterate it permanently, gauge that. There's a fine line. So, cold approaching. So now that, guys, we've, established that when you cold approach, you are guaranteed to get blown out. You're guaranteed to, be rejected. You have to be able to come to terms with this in order to be successful doing this, and in order to be successful over time doing this, expanding your options, living a life of more freedom. As a man, you want to have maximum freedom with women in your life. You want to be able to choose. And yeah, this is one of the ways to do that. So to guard yourself and to make it so that you are able to continue doing this over time is a mental game. So let's see. You go and cold approach a girl, right? You think a girl is hot. And so you walk up to her and you say, hi. You can either do, a regular, situational opener, or you can just be more direct and say something like, hey, this is random. I thought you were cute. And, go ahead from there. Right. You will be blown out at some times. And basically, in order to start cold approaching, what you need to be able to do is accept that that's going to happen, and you have to fight something that's an instinct inside of you. So the instinct inside of you is classical conditioning. Everybody knows about Pavlov's dogs, who he rang the bells whenever they were going to be brought food, and eventually he just rang the bell, and the dogs would salivate. They didn't even need to have the stimulus of the food there, right? That's classical conditioning. So when you're cold approaching and you're getting blown out, girls are being rude to you, or, they're acting very awkward, and, it's all around an uncomfortable thing because most people are not comfortable with meeting people they don't know. So you have to be the bigger person and the one with the upper hand. And you have to be able to beat this classical conditioning response that you will have, which is something I've struggled with. So the classical conditioning response is, so you create a situation, and you do that by walking up to a girl and that you find attractive and saying hello. Then when her response is negative directed towards you, or humiliating, or make you feel worthless, any of those things, that is classical conditioning happening. You performed an action and a result happened, and it was negative. It felt bad. It encouraged you to not do that again. Most guys have cold approached a few girls, And after those few girls and those horrid classical conditioning experiences, they never do again. That's really what you have to get over, is that there's this instinct. It says, okay, you did something and you felt pain. Avoid that. Don't do it again. And you have to just be like, I don't care. I don't care. You have to accept it and just say, yeah, that's gonna happen. Not that could happen. That's gonna happen, and I'm okay with that. You know, you need to be okay with being in social pressure situations. It's a masculine trait to be okay with that. Women are much more sensitive to social pressure. And so when you put a girl into a situation where, you know, all cute girls have been cold approached before, and a lot of them have probably had experiences where it was awkward, and just generally girls just don't really like know how to handle like highly stressful social situations. Their response is to leave. Highly avoidance, highly stressful social situations. So when you are saying hello to someone and you know, putting it out there that you're attracted to them, and they're not, you know, comfortable with that or used to that, which is totally normal, the chances of you having a awkward or negative response and her trying to get you out of there as soon as possible is very high. And it has nothing to do with you. And it's a numbers game, guys. It's the same thing on Tinder, you know. Tinder is like a microcosm of the real dating world. So think about, you match with 50 people on there, right? And now, you know, you send a message to 40 of them, you get a message back from 20 of them, and this is your matches, okay? And now you make a meaningful conversation with 10 of them, so that's 10 out of 50. But now only 5 want to meet, right? And that's actually pretty good, you know. If you get 50 matches on Tinder and you actually end up meeting 5 of those people, you know, I think that's about normal. I think that's about average. So that's a microcosm for, it's a numbers game. So when you cold approach and you get blown out, you just have to remember that it's you just keep going, and eventually you get, you know, eventually the good one, you come across the good ones that are a good match, and you know, that aren't freaks. Because honestly, I think that those people that are like so awkward and like don't want to meet people, and or, you know, they have a boyfriend or something and so they treat you like shit, I think those people are fucking freaks. Like, they just do not know how to operate in the world. Hello? Our whole world is driven by sex. So if you can't handle a basic introduction with you know, with a man, a woman, if a woman cannot handle a basic introduction from a man, and you know, just handle it graciously, they're a total freak. All right, guys, this is Dan from Bodybuilder in Thailand.com.